Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something super fascinating today, and honestly, maybe a little bit of a wake-up call about our daily routines. We're always obsessing over our physical health, right? What we're eating to stay fit, how much we're working out to build muscle, but how often do we actually stop and evaluate our habits specifically for our cognitive health? Our brains are literally the control centers for everything we do. Yet without even realizing it, so many of us are engaging in daily behaviors that might actually just be wearing them down.
So, I've got to ask you right up front, are you unknowingly committing any of the 8 daily behaviors that could be harming your brain? We all kind of just go through our days on autopilot, but what if I told you there are exactly 8 incredibly common habits quietly doing damage? Seriously, think about your morning routine, your commute, your workday, and your evenings. You might actually be pretty surprised at what makes this list. All right, let's get right into it. We're looking at a breakdown that maps out these 8 common yet destructive habits directly onto the 2 hemispheres of the brain. The key triggers here are really striking. Things like the dark, negative news, isolation, full volume, sleeping issues, sugar, screens, and not moving enough. These aren't just, abstract scientific concepts. These are tangible, everyday actions. Our whole goal today is to unpack each of these triggers and figure out exactly what we're putting our minds through day in and day out. So here's our quick roadmap for the explainer today. First, the 8 brain-damaging habits. 2, our physical foundations. 3, the toll of modern technology. 4, environment and social isolation. And finally, rethinking your daily routine.
Section 1, the 8 brain-damaging habits. The big picture.
Okay, here's the full rundown of those 8 habits. Staying in the dark too much, consuming way too much negative news, social isolation, blasting your headphones on full volume, poor sleeping habits, consuming too much sugar, too much screen time, and finally, barely moving throughout the day. I bet as I read through that list, at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 or 4, made you wince a little bit, right? That is totally normal, and it's exactly why we're digging into this today.
Section 2, physical foundations and baseline physical needs. One distinctly damaging but honestly super overlooked habit is physical stagnation, just barely moving throughout the day. In our modern world, it's so incredibly easy to go from sitting in your car to sitting at a desk to crashing on the couch. But here's the thing, our brains absolutely thrive on blood flow and oxygen, and those are driven by movement. When you barely move, you're literally depriving your brain of the exact fuel it needs to operate at its highest capacity. And movement isn't the only foundation we tend to neglect. Think about how poor sleeping habits and consuming too much sugar interact. Let's say you get a terrible night's sleep. How do you compensate the next day? You probably reach for a sugary snack or one of those massive sweetened coffees just to stay awake, right? Both of these